Okay, so here we have a simple procedural program. We'll just run through what the different parts are. To start with, we have some declarations here which are just to do with setting up the program. We'll come to those when we start looking at the how to do this in depth. Well, we set up the maximum size for the array, we create the array in memory, and here we declare some of these functions and procedures that we're going to use in this program. Okay, so this tmain, the tmain is, or the main, as it will be in different programs, but there's always a function or procedure that gets run whenever the program gets loaded, and in our program it's called _tmain. So when we run this program, this function is where it starts. That's where everything gets going. So the first line of this program is init array. Okay, short for initialize array. So this line of code basically runs this procedure here. So when we run this, the code drops down to this area down here and then runs this, which is basically just a loop which initializes our list with some random numbers. Okay, so we've dropped out of this bit of the program, come down here, run this bit of the code, and then when we've finished with that, we go back up and continue where we got to. The next line here is where we output. Okay, so we use this printf function. This outputs to the screen, and we output the result of this other procedure or function here, find largest value. So when we do this, we drop down to this bit here, run this bit of code which loops through looking for the largest value and gives that number back to this function here for it to then output the value. Now we have some various things going on here. We have, like, this is a loop here, and we have a loop here. We have an if statement here that checks to see if the value is bigger than another value. So these individual lines like these are all your instructions. Together, this is a procedure. We could say that this procedure is an algorithm for finding the largest value, and together they make up a program. Now, this program in itself is not really an application as such. Okay, it's really just a program. So we have a program and we've made it modular, and by that we've broken it down into small chunks. So to make it easier to program and easier to maintain, we've actually broken this down into one bit of code here which is going to set up the array, and we've got another bit of code here which is our algorithm for finding the largest value, and then we're using these in this bit of code here. So we could, if we did some more programming and we added some more bits to this, we could use this find largest value in another bit of the code, or this init array in another bit of the code somewhere. So we've made it modular. It also makes it easier for us to debug, so we can check this bit of code works before we start running this bit of code. So let's just run through and see this in action. So I'm going to step through the code so you can see what's going on. So we started, as we said, in the main function, and the first line of code we're going to run in there is the init array. So you can see we drop down to here, we run through this, and we're going to run through this 20 times, setting up the list with random values. And we can see, if we look over here, some of the operations that are going on. For instance, I is the number of times we've gone round to the loop so far. List of values here has got the latest value that we're putting in, and this is what the random value is that we're putting in. So we're just going to keep stepping through that till we've stepped through it 20 times. Okay, there we go. So we dropped out of this and went back to here, and what this has done is it's set up this list of 20 values, 0 to 19, with random values. So then we're going to do this function now, which is going to call again this find largest value, And we're going to step through again 20 times, looking for the largest value, and you can see the counter going up as we're stepping through it, the list of value and what it thinks is the largest value so far as we're going through. Okay, so we've got to the end, and we're going to send back into here what we think is the largest value. We say largest value returned 29,358. And so there we go, prints out the largest value 29,358.